Kenneth Tindall,
Jorden Morris.
welcome back to Orlando.
Thank you, my friend.
How is it being back?
It's really lovely to come back to somewhere you've worked before, and it's not a fresh start. So you've developed that kind of relationship with each other. So coming back to the work, it already feels a step forward from the last time,
Right.
because there's a more common language between us all now. And you guys made me feel so welcome the last time. I was really excited to get back in the studio here.
And how does it feel compared to creating the work in Tulsa and now bringing it to this company?
Yeah, it's always that like a wonderful thing. I think in the creation process in your brain, as you'll know, it's such an intense period of time. You don't always know what you're creating, and you're moving at such a rapid pace. To now have the hindsight to sit back and see the production with fresh eyes. And there's always that wonderful thing that a new artist, a new dancer is going to infuse it in a new way. And it's almost like the work lives again, fresh, actually, almost like it's new. And there's nothing better, really, is there, than to getting time in the studio with someone and being able to rework it for their skill set, their talents. And so it's just that it constantly lives.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you do notice a distinct sort of learning process that the dancers sort of acquired during Casanova that transfers to Carmen?
Yeah, most definitely. I think that, yes, the story is different, but the execution of your physical language, there's lots of similarities that carry over. Your tastes and your aesthetics of how you want a sequence to be delivered, even the intention. So the fact that we've been through that together so thoroughly, it sort of creates a shorthand that we have now to get through that process quicker. And hopefully the space is comfortable, that they start to feel like they can partake in it in a different way, and they can offer suggestion, and then they can start to feed more of themselves into the work.
Right.
And I'm always open to that. It exists, but it can shift and adapt as new energies and identities put themselves in it.
Right, and we were talking yesterday about that collaborative zone where once you've worked with the dancers before, it opens that door to the artistic collaboration between the company and us and you and the work, which I think is really, really synergistic.
It is, yeah, and it's also a privilege to be able to continue a relationship. I think that's how you can all benefit and move forward in your own practices. Not just them, not just me, but we're coming back, and with that commonality, now we can all dig deeper, knowing how we facilitate each other in the room.
Right. Okay, so one of the things that I love when you come to visit us and stage your ballets with us is the way that we both love to pull more out of the dancers and working with choreographers such as ourselves, where we ask for more and pull more, and we want to paint with broader strokes on the artists. Can you talk a little bit about your approach to that and sort of how you, as we've seen you in the studio, really dive into the character, the movement, and then speaking those movements?
I think, as you know, as a narrative choreographer, we're always trying to find why the movement exists. And it comes from a place of intention and a reason to execute and perform. So for me, textures, energies, and intention are crucial for it being clear to the audience what we're trying to say.
Right. Talk a little bit about the music. And when you sent me the video, I was really struck by how it is Bizet based, but how you really took different tangents and sort of offshoots of really creative and interesting modulations within the musical score.
I think in its infancy, coming to that work and taking on Carmen, the title, was kind of the question of why do this? It's existed in so many ways, in so many formats, in so many mediums, and it's been done so well. And the music is so iconic. It felt like the starting point to finding a fresh perspective into this story was, I have to break apart the music. I don't want there not to be the things the audience want from Carmen,
Right.
but I want to see this in a fresh way. I want to hear it in a fresh way, and also the narrative, the way I wanted to lead the narrative, I felt like I want to be inside the mind of Jose. That required a different sound, a different world, which didn't exist in those scores. And then it was really bringing on Alex Harwood, a composer I've worked with a lot, about how we pull this score apart, how we inject her sound and composing into it, how they sit side by side, and how we make the piece. I'm not going to use the word richer, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to explore the length of it, because it's short by nature, and I wanted it to be slightly longer and to investigate and experiment with some of the scenes and characters a little bit more in depth than the short musical segments allowed for. So then it became about a sound world mixed with the world of Bizet and how they coexisted, which immediately gave it a 21st century freshness, I think.
And what I notice is it's almost a new dialect to an older language.
Yes.
Where the operatic score was very square and very sort of built for that kind of production. You and Alex sort of stripped some things away and dove a little bit more into the underground of those characters through the music, and then it comes back out through the dancers.
Yeah. No, that's an amazing observation. It's exactly what we try to do, and then not to be stuck with the way that narrative existed. If we could reorganize those parts, then we could put the narrative in the structure we felt best served the story in this way. So absolutely.